Hey Geminis, I hope you guys are doing great. Here to do a self-love reading for you so we can take a peek at where you are in your self-love journey and how you can do more to honor yourself and increase the love you have for you. So let's start by taking a peek at where you currently are, how you view yourself. We have the Queen of Inspiration or the Queen of Wands in reverse. And what I just heard in my head, Gemini, is dry, dry, dry. So it feels as though right now there may be a little bit of a lack of excitement that you have for yourself. It almost feels as though your feelings have become sort of numb, right? It doesn't feel as though you're giving very much to others or even yourself. It feels like a very sort of flat energy that you're experiencing. And it's very strange because it doesn't feel particularly heavy. It just feels a little bit empty right now, as if there's sort of a sense of exhaustion. And it's like, I don't even have the energy to think about other folks. I don't have the energy to think about myself. It's almost as if right now you're sort of doing the bare minimum to keep your head above water, that there is just no room for anything extra. So it might be something as small as you haven't even made time to get your nails done, or you haven't made time to go to the gym or anything like that. It doesn't feel like you're doing much for yourself, and quite frankly, it doesn't feel like you're doing a whole lot for anybody else either. There's just this sort of absence of energy that you're experiencing right now. I think one of the challenges when it comes to you taking care of yourself and really putting a focus on your own needs right now, we have the Five of Inspiration or the Five of Wands in reverse. And then we also have the Ace of Wands in reverse. So again, one of these big challenges, I think, is just fatigue. Like, if you've been through a lot, Gemini, it feels as though it's just worn you out to the point where there's no spark, there's no excitement, and it doesn't seem as though you can find a way to maybe recapture that energy that you had previously. It's almost as if you had this fire and somehow it got snuffed out a little bit. And you're just tired. You're just plain tired. And that's why you haven't really been taking care of yourself right now. What you can do right now, I think, to start getting out of this place, yes, it's going to take a little bit of work on your end with the Eight of Pentacles. But, there's very much this sense of, having to climb your way out of this. And I wish it was a little bit easier. I wish there was sort of a magic wand, but it feels as though for you, Gemini, that this is going to take a certain amount of grit to get you out of this energy. And we also have clarifying the Eight of Pentacles. We have the Moon in reverse. So this is coming out of that darkness. So Spirit is saying that showing yourself that you're worthy is going to take a little bit of work, right? Whatever little glimmer that you can see coming through that darkness is something that you need to hold on to, because that's going to be something that you're going to be able to build that new foundation of happiness on. But you're going to have to fight for this a little bit, Gemini. And I understand that you felt that, you may feel right now that you don't have that fight in you, but I promise that you do. Especially with the Magician that just came out. This is someone who has all of the tools that they need in life. If you look at sort of the traditional like Rider-Waite tarot, the Magician is standing behind the table and he has a pentacle, he has a cup, he has a wand, he has a sword, and he's, holding his scepter up in the air, as above, so below. So these changes, I think, that you want to see in your external are really going to have to start with changes that we have internally. And that's going to take some work on your part. But Spirit is saying very clearly that you have all of the tools, that you are worthy. But it's going to be up to you whether or not you actually utilize all of those tools that you've been equipped with. Now, in terms of showing up more authentically in your own life, we have Justice in reverse, and we have the Queen of Materials. So what I feel may have contributed to this frustrated, sort of burnt out energy that you experienced before, Gemini, is the fact that you were giving to so many people who were not worthy of what you were giving to them. And so it feels like in order to be more authentic and in order to honor yourself more, that there needs to be a greater level of discernment about who you give to. Before you sort of extend yourself to others, it may be worth asking yourself the question, do they deserve this? Do they deserve my time? Do they deserve my energy, my effort? Do they deserve me? Because it feels almost as if you were like pouring water into a tub that had the drain open. Like you're just pouring, and there's nothing being saved. Like it's all going down the drain. You're left with nothing from the people that you've interacted with. So, ask yourself going forward with the bits of energy that you can muster up. Do other people actually deserve that energy from you? Okay. Now, letting go of some things I think is going to be important for you also, Gemini. We have the Five of Materials, or the Five of Pentacles here. This is feeling being left out in the cold. This is very much a sense of lack mentality. So I think that, part of where you are right now in your energetic space is thinking about, things that you don't have, things that you didn't receive for the effort or the energy that you put forward to other people. And it feels like now Spirit is saying, as a part of this work that you're going to be doing on yourself, it's time to let go. What's done is done. And you can change your circumstances. You don't have to be sort of on the outside looking in anymore, because you're going to be doing that work to focus more on yourself. So when you're fulfilled, there's really no lack to be experienced. So as a part of your process, getting out of this energy of feeling that you're missing out on something is, it's just not... it's going to be super important for you. And with the Page of Pentacles clarifying that, letting go of the notion that there's nothing out there for you, right? There are going to be some good gifts coming in, and what's a good way of saying this? It feels as though you don't necessarily have to completely shut out other people. But again, there's this sense of being discerning, right? In a way where you're being true to yourself. So it's okay to give a little bit. I don't think that you want to go back to the place where you're giving as much as you were before, but little things here and there for the right people, for the right time, for the right occasion, all of that good stuff. It's okay. So don't think that you have to, completely be a miser, and you don't have to, be super selfish or anything like that. But there needs to be that good balance. And we see that with the Two of Materials on the bottom of the deck, the Two of Pentacles. This is about juggling. This is about that back and forth, right? Trying to find this sort of equal footing, finding this balance. So, one of the things that I think, again, you need to let go of is whatever has happened in the past. You've already given what you've given to these folks around you. And now going forward, it's really time for you to think about having that balance, using that discernment, but honoring yourself more than anything else, making sure that you don't steal from yourself to be able to give to other people. It's about making sure that your cup is full first and foremost, and, sort of doling out the remainder of what you have to others as you see fit. So one of the things that you may not see coming, that you should probably be aware of, is that we have the Muse of Emotions, or the King of Cups in traditional tarot. And this is someone who is giving lots of love, who is offering some very, very, very good things, right? There's going to be clarity that comes towards you. You're going to be coming out of this time where things are a little bit unclear. You're going to be finding that guiding light. You're going to begin to have that spark of inspiration, understanding, right? That you are on a new path in life because you're putting in the work. So with the Seven of Cups in reverse, this is the end of disillusionment. So getting out of this energy of feeling lack, feeling as though you have been drained by other people, and sort of tapping into your own personal power, the tools you have, the intuition that you were born with, and being more discerning about where your energy goes is going to lead to a lot of happiness for you. I think that you are going to come to a place where you will be more surrounded by people who are willing to pour into you as much as you're willing to give to them. But it's going to start with you taking care of yourself first, which is not a bad energy. I feel like everybody's been there in their lives at certain points where they have overextended themselves for other people. And it got to the point where they kind of lost their way, right, when it comes to themselves. But it feels as though you're coming out of that energy and you're getting on the right track. You just sort of need to trust yourself. And that's what we see with sort of the ending cards, the messages from Spirit that we have. The first one that came out is trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? And so I think that, part of the challenge that you experienced previously in terms of giving so much to other people is that you thought you would lose out on their support, their friendship, whatever the situation is. And so you may have felt this need to continue to give. And at a certain point, it feels like you came into this awareness that, you know what? No matter what I give, it's never enough. It's never enough for them. So looking at this new path, it's important for you to trust that as you shift your insides, the outsides will reflect that. So even if you do have this period where people in your life start falling away, understand that there are going to be people coming in who are more aligned to your new vibration. And they are going to be willing to give to you. You're going to have that support. So in thinking about that, if you knew that this new tribe, that this new system was coming in for you, would you stay in the same place? And I feel like the answer for that is no. If you knew that making these changes inside, making sure that you take care of yourself would bring this wonderful group of new people into your life, would you do it? Yeah, I think that you would, Gemini. So the final message that came out for you is peacefulness. I have a peaceful, tranquil, and untroubled heart. This is where I choose to spend my time. I can bring guests, but any person, thought, or event that brings drama or chaos is not invited. My heart is a special property, and I'm going to keep it that way so we can all keep enjoying it and I can get my security deposit back. So again, I think this is you, Gemini, coming into this place of awareness and finding peace within yourself and acknowledging that maybe the people that you poured into before were not giving you that same energy that you were giving to them. So choosing to spend your time here, choosing which guests you bring, goes back to this discernment that Spirit is asking you to have. Picking and choosing, being very selective about who you give your time and energy to after you have already given that time and energy to yourself. So you know, I don't necessarily think that this is going to be a super, super easy path. It is going to take some work on your side, Gemini, but it is absolutely going to be worth it in the end, because as you build what you're giving to yourself, you're going to see that reflected in people giving back to you. So I'm going to leave it there for you. I hope that this was helpful and I hope that it resonated. If it did, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. But in the meanwhile, stay safe, stay healthy, and I am sending you all huge hugs.